Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with some more Friday Night Magic. There's a snake in my boot. No, it's actually not a snake. It is a sliver. We are playing the sliver deck, and AWESOME. Awesomo. It's almost awesome. Awesome gets to play first. This hand is actually not that great. We're gonna try drawing a new one. It's looking a little bit better. Let's go ahead and keep it. So we are playing the sliver deck. Let me talk to you about the sliver deck. You can build it early aggro. The problem with that is that it's just sort of a subpar version of the other aggro decks in Duels 2014. So what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the black zombie deck, the blue phantasm deck, the white weenie, and the Advocate's Glory deck. It's just basically a subpar version of those. So the mid game for slivers is actually very, very strong. We've got crazy cards like the Thorncaster Sliver, the Magenta Sliver. Like, they're just some big old scary slivers that are pretty awesome. So that is how I have built the deck. We're focusing on ramp for the early game with things like rampant growth. And then the mid game, the strong mid game, that's the focus, that's the game plan. We're gonna throw down rampant growth right now. Ba-ba boom, ba-ba boom. And we are looking for, oh shoot, we've got a plane. Okay, so we do have one of everything. Let me just get another forest in play then. Because we're gonna have a plains next turn, so. All right, so next turn we'll be sitting on 4. We could play the Predatory Sliver. We could play the Blur Sliver. Blur Sliver might not be bad. And then Predatory the turn after. Choose one, target player draws 2 cards, or target player discards 2 cards. That card is so good. It's so good. That's target player I honestly would have been terrified if he chose me and had me discard 2 cards. Like, that would have been horrendous. We're just gonna go with the Terramorphic Expanse right now. I think we will start off with the, well, that just pumps up the other one. But next turn we'll have 5, so I want to play this most likely. And with it having haste, that'd be pretty good. So we're gonna play him for the sake of getting my 5-drop haste for next turn. And since this guy is a sliver, he gives other slivers haste. That includes himself, so we can attack with him immediately. So yeah, I think the Blur Sliver was the best play there. Absolutely. There's actually no question about it. Now that I think of it, that was obviously, quite obviously, the best play. All right, now let's see. I haven't seen much from AWESOMO. We haven't seen much from him yet. We'll expect something soon. Okay, so he just plays that guy. And he plays a Ravenous Rats. Okay, so that forces me to discard a card. The only one that I really want to get rid of is Path to Exile, because I need the land for next turn. And I need that sliver. I need those slivers, so unfortunately we end up dumping a Path to Exile. Obviously, Path to Exile is a great card. We'd totally love to have it, but it's not gonna happen. All right, so we throw down a plains. There's our 5-drop. That gives us the Thorncaster Sliver. Makes it so that whenever slivers attack, you get to deal 1 damage to target creature or player for each sliver attacking. He has haste because of the Blur Sliver. We attack with both, okay? And then we get to choose the damage. We're gonna do bolt damage to this guy, killing off his 1 creature. That could potentially kill these guys. They die from the Thorncaster, and now he's gonna choose. He's gonna chump block, or he's gonna let 4 go through. He's gonna chump block. That tells me that he does not have removal for these slivers, because if he did, he would not have done that. So that makes me very happy, actually, because next turn a Predatory Sliver is going to be amazing. So let me just, again, show you what happens. Blur Sliver gives all slivers haste. This sliver makes it so whenever sliver attacks, you do 1 damage to our creature or player. So we put the Blur Sliver last turn, did 2 damage. Then this past turn, we did the Thorncaster Sliver, attack for both, hit 2 damage, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's perfect, it's perfect. And now, we get the Predatory Sliver in play. Oh man. Pumping these guys up, attacking. We could also do, ooh, you know what, this might actually be better. Yeah, this is totally better, because this is a lot more damage across the board. This gives my slivers +2/+0. They all get +2/+0. Oh man. Oh man, wait, could we have Fatal if we do the damage? We've got 1, 2, 5. Yeah, you know what, if I Path to Exile his creature, we're gonna Path to Exile his creature. Let's show you why I'm doing this. Because now we have Fatal. I was gonna use 2 damage to remove his blocker, but now if we use all this damage to go to him, we've got Fatal. So we attack for this. We go player. We go player. And we go player. So that's the 8 plus 5 plus the 3 damage. And that is awesome. That is AWESOME. Not O. You spelt it wrong. Oh well. Game number 1 in the bag. Let's go to game number 2. Our next game is against MTG Foster. Australian for magic. Australian for beer. Is the word Foster really Australian for beer? Or is that just some clever marketing ploy for a beer company that's Australian? Why do I never get to go first? Actually, I feel like a lot of games I do get to go first. Just not this time. He mulliganed down to 6. Ouchies. Ouchies, ouchies, ouchies. That's painful. But you know what? I mean, he's gonna have maybe he got the perfect 6 cards and he's gonna smash me in the face now. I don't know. F. Oster. F. Oster. Frank Oster? Or is it really supposed to be Foster? I don't know. These are things that I'm not aware of. Young Wolf. This is a 1/1 Undying. So when it dies, it comes back with a 1/1 counter on it, making it a 2/2. Undying is awesome mechanic. He's playing the 2/2 Scavenge. Okay. Alright, so this is a deck we recently played. This is one of the brand new decks. He's off to a strong early start. We are gonna get some stuff in play though and see what we can do. Oh crap, what do I have? We got a Forest, Mountain, Plain. Looks like I do have everything. So I guess we'll just go with, doesn't really matter then. So this is a 3-color Sliver deck, obviously. Why am I saying this? You just watched the last game. Of course you know it's 3 colors. We've established this already. I don't know, but I'm actually, since he's had that kind of a fast and a strong start, I don't like my odds. I am not a fan of my odds. Now we do have some removal in the deck that we can, what the hell's happening with that beetle? We do have some removal that we could potentially throw down in upcoming turn, but here's our mirror entity, 1/1 Changeling. What does this do? I can tap X, creatures you control become XX and gain all creature types until end of turn. So I can pump up Changeling to make him a Sliver, essentially. And again, this works across the board. It gives all my creatures XX whatever I tap. So if I've got 10 mana and I tap 10, all my Slivers 10/10. Boom, boom, just like that. And then they also get the buffs from other Slivers. So it can be kind of crazy. He's gonna play a Primordial Hydra, the 1/1 that doubles itself every turn. That's scary. We've got some stuff though. This would be a 3/0 right now. Next turn we've got 6 drop. Yeah, so we're gonna throw down this Battle Sliver. Okay, pumps this guy up because he is every creature type as it is. So, just like that. So we've got a 5/3 and a 3/1 in play. Next turn we've got our big beastly Sliver that's coming through, giving all the Slivers +3/+3. Things get really awesome. AWESOMO. Things get really awesome once he is in play. Kind of absurd. And if we get Double Strike going through, ooh, we'll be feeling good. Although, you know what? I think I'm gonna Fiery Justice and clear his board. Yep, that sounds like a plan to me. His Undying would come back. We kind of want to get rid of that though. I think I'm gonna Fiery Justice because we can also cultivate this turn too. We're gonna do this. We're gonna Fiery Justice. I need to get rid of his Primordial. I don't know if I even want to touch his Undying creature though. Because it just comes back right now. So I'm gonna hit him with it. Okay, he gains the life. So here's my plan. Actually don't. Yeah, I did do that already. We're gonna throw down our Cultivate. We got a land in play, a land in our hand. Just like that. Okay. And then at attack phase, I will just attack with the 5/3, I suppose. I don't want him to have a free kill for that. So he chump blocks, he gets his Undying back, but now at least the Undying has triggered. We don't have to deal with it again. So the next time we kill this thing, it's gone for good. And next turn we can throw this in play. We got ourselves some more land ramp. The great thing about a thing like Cultivate too is that it also filters out your deck. So it makes me less likely to draw into lands in my top decks and more likely to draw into non-lands. That's the real huge benefit to stuff like that. So here it is, a big old Sliver in play, bam. Oh boy. We've got a 6/4 and the 8/6. So, if this works the way I think it works, I'm going to attack with both. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure the Changeling is going to let me pump it up. And then also, okay, he chose not to block. So we're going to go like this, boom, boom. So that should pump it up and also apply the effects. There it is, just like that. Oh, so good. So good, so good. We just did 14 damage. Oh, it actually would have been 14 either way. Because that's really funny. Yeah, that's fine. He's gonna destroy a land, okay. It's a non-creature permanent, so he doesn't have many other choices. Destroy our non-creature permanent. And he's just fully committing. I don't know why he would not save blockers. Maybe he just realizes he's dead anyways, so. It's not, I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna throw this guy in play. It is completely unnecessary, I know. We've got more than fatal damage. We're just swinging with everything. And that's game number 2, just like that, huh? Man, oh man, Sliver deck's doing all right. All right, let's go ahead and move on to game number 3. He was at -21, ouch, that hurts. Our next match is against Steve Cruz. We've been cruising so far, huh? I'm feeling good about this build. It seems to be doing all right. The mid-game Sliver, call it the mid-game Sliver. It does all right. All right, we'll keep this hand. We'll see if Mr. Cruz can throw us off our game though, All right, so we're gonna have, we did get to go first, starting off with our Terramorphic Expanse, and we're gonna throw down a Rampant Growth on our second turn. Terramorphic. So Fiery Justice, I've been primarily using it as a means of eliminating those early game threats to allow us to move into the mid game. So that's why a lot of times when I have Fiery Justice in my hand, I will be using it early on. That's just sort of how I roll, you know? Just sort of what I do. So we'll see what he ends up playing this turn. We got red-white so far. Oh, interesting. Interesting. The artifact deck. The artifact deck, the Metalcraft deck, as it were. I'm not going to do Fire Justice quite yet. I think this will be a good turn for Terramorphic and Cultivate. So Cultivate down, we'll go red-white. Terramorphic for a green, I guess. And then next turn we can throw down the Battle Sliver. So this will be an interesting game. I have not played the Metalcraft deck against the Metalcraft deck with the Sliver deck quite yet. So he's got 2 in play now. So it looks like I'll be throwing down my Fiery Justice next turn. Because we don't want this thing to have protection from all colors. No siree. That is not something we're interested in. Not even a little bit. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna be throwing down a Fiery Justice. We're gonna get rid of that. We dump his 2 artifacts. In the process, we stop him from getting protection from all colors. He will be gaining 2 life after the exchange, but that's fine. Because protection from all colors would really screw us pretty bad. And we set back his Metalcraft as well. That's the other big thing. Gonna hold off on our Path to Exile too. So I think what we'll be playing is probably the Thorncaster Sliver, and then we'll follow it up with the Battle Sliver. Or no, you know what? I should play Battle first, because then I can attack with the Battle, which has 3 health instead of 2 health, and the Thorncaster still triggers from the Battle, because the Thorncaster gives the Battle that same effect. Alright, so Artifact, it's got Metalcraft, it becomes a 5/5. So once he gets close to that, we're just gonna Path to Exile, whatever, you know. Maybe we should Path to Exile that. Oh wait, only as long... Okay, so, I see. Sliver Hivelings wouldn't be bad either. We'd follow it up with a Battle Sliver. Let's go with the Battle Sliver first. We're gonna have the stuff to Path to Exile. We'll have the 5/3 in play. And then the Thorncaster next turn will let us pick off his 1/1, removing yet another Metalcraft trigger. This is really good, actually. I'm feeling really good about this. Okay, let's see. He's got 5 lands in play, 4 mountains, 1 plains. I'm assuming he'll be triggering Metalcraft this turn. I hope he taps out to trigger Metalcraft. Plays that to trigger Metalcraft. Let me see if he plays anything else before I Path to Exile. Nothing. We're gonna Path to Exile. Getting rid of that. Oh, this is great. Removing his Metalcraft trigger, because now he no longer has 3 artifacts in play. He does get a land out of the process, but we did during his end step. The land also comes into play tap, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference anyways. Our Thorncaster Sliver now coming into play. We attack with the 5/3. We choose to hit his 1/1. Awesome. Now he's that much further away from Metalcraft, and he decides to leave the game. Womp, womp, womp. I mean, I don't blame him. We did a number on his Metalcraft capabilities, and I really don't blame him at all for choosing to leave the game, because he must have just not thought that he had enough in his hand to make much of a effect or anything. He's gonna play 3/1 Metalcraft. This has double strike as long as he controls 3 more artifacts, and this guy's Metalcraft 2/2. And he has double strike as long as there's 3 more artifacts. So none of those things have 3 more artifacts though, and we're gonna be able to eliminate some stuff here. So this will be a pretty good turn. We're gonna go Predatory Sliver, pump up our slivers. We're gonna go Hive Slivers, pump up nice big old thing of slivers here. Get hit with both of these. We will use our 2 damage. 1 to hit that. The other one will be going straight to... Wait, what? Players, that's what I wanted to do. The other one will be going straight to the Warsmith, who is no longer a player because the guy left the game. I mean, I know he left the game. I still want to finish this out though. Still want to complete it. I'm gonna block that. Let the 5 go through. He's at 12. We should be winning this upcoming turn anyways. I don't see how we can't really. Oh, tap target creature. Metalcraft gives the exile, but that's not that big of a deal. Just 1 less attacking creature. He's done for. Attack with a 2/2. That's fine. I will take 2. And that's the end step. You know, again, it's a bummer when people leave, but what are you gonna do? What are you going to do? Play this guy. And we're gonna activate it for 4. Ready? It all becomes 4/4s. The pump up effect still triggers. Oh, it's so glorious. I could have just done that during combat too, of course. And then we'll have the just damage go to Warsmith. Because why not? He doesn't have a blocker. Delicious. And that, my friends, is another glorious victory with the Sliver deck. Oh, the timing was impeccable. All right, there you go. That's game 3. Well, I am sad that our last opponent ended up leaving the game. However, he obviously assumed that that was game over. And the Sliver deck's doing okay. I still think it struggles versus the super aggro decks. And again, I don't build it aggro to counteract that because it doesn't even compete. So trying to match it when it's not as good doesn't make sense. So I think the mid-game build is pretty strong. Although if you run this, again, I think you might still have problems with the aggro, the Black Zombie, the Advocant's Glory, the White Weenie deck, and the Blue Phantasm deck, I think would still probably give you a headache. But we try to offset that with things like Path to Exile, as well as Fiery Justice. Anyways, let's take a look at the deck list. Running 24 lands, yes, 24 lands. We got 6, 6, 8, and the 4 Terramorphic Expanses, okay? And we've also got Path to Exile ×3, Predatory Sliver ×4, pumps up your Slivers 1/1. Survival of the Fittest, awesome enchantment, 2 lands for the enchantment. I can tap a green, discard a creature, search my library for another creature, put it in my hand. So, say if I get a Predatory Sliver late game, but I've got tons of mana, I can discard it and go through for my big Slivers that are much more imposing. Got the Rampant Growth ×3 for some land fetch early on, ramping things up. Mirror Entity allowing me to pump up all my creatures. And then on top of that, they get the Sliver bonuses. It's so good. We've got the Valor Sliver, giving my Slivers haste. It's a 2/2. Fiery Justice for early game removal. Again, this with Path to Exile is used to combat the crazy aggro decks. Obviously, you know, Path to Exile can also be used for big late game creatures too. The Hive Stirrings for 2 1/1 Slivers. We are running the 3 of those. 4 Cultivates, again, land ramp, just like Rampant Growth. The Bonesight Sliver, 2/2 Sliver, that gives the Slivers double strike, so good. Bifurcate lets me take a copy a creature that's in play and grab another creature that's the same from my deck. The Thorncaster Sliver, all my Slivers deal 1 damage to our creature player when they attack, awesome. Battle Sliver, give my Slivers +2/+0. Big ol' Sliver, a 3/3 that gives all Slivers +3/+3, and that is the deck list. Thanks guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Friday Night Magic. Tune in next Friday for some more Duels 2014 multiplayer gameplay. And yeah, thanks for watching guys. Keep watching and keep owning.